Welcome back to another episode of the Retro Craptacular, where each month we continue our search for the best bad movies on the planet Earth. I am your host, Aaron, and I am joined, as always, by Matt.
Hello, Aaron.
Hey, man.
Happy St. Nicholas Day.
Is it?
It is St. Nicholas Day today, the day of our casting of this pod. It'll come out later, because that's how it works. But yeah, St. Nicholas Day today.
Well, that's cool.
I got some socks with Van Gogh on them.
Oh, nice. Ear or no ear?
Well, you can only see one side of his face, so I don't know.
That's a no ear Van Gogh to me. Yeah, nice. Okay. That's cool. My family doesn't really do St. Nicholas Day.
I have found that every family I know doesn't do St. Nicholas Day.
Yeah, because we only believe in real things. Like Jesus.
Santa Claus. Oh.
Yeah, Santa Claus too. Sure, either one works. You can. Anyways, happy holidays, everybody. This is the Christmas episode, I guess, December episode.
Mm-hmm.
Did a Christmas movie.
Did we?
We got to stop doing Christmas movies at Christmas.
I mean, Santa Claus Conquers the Martians is pure gold.
That will be watched every year, regardless of. Well, I might not watch it this year. I don't know if I could stomach to watch it by myself.
You know, I actually got access to Amazon Prime, and I was looking at the holiday movies that they had available there.
And
Santa
it's on
Claus
there?
Conquers the Martians was on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, because Amazon Prime seems to just have this, like, wealth of crap that they hide down at the bottom. And it's because I learned that, like, anyone can submit their movie to be on Amazon Prime Video.
Oh?
Like, there is a submission process that you can go through to get your movie on Amazon Prime Video for, like, independent producers and stuff. And so there's probably a bunch of people that just, like, have files of, you know, public domain movies, and they're like, we're just going to put this on Amazon Prime Video, try and make a buck. But then there's
That's
like a
so
bunch of if you go into the horror section and like scroll way down, that garbage starts to come up. There's a lot of like no budget garbage movies that were made like last year.
Oh, wow.
That just suck. And so, yeah.
I had no idea. That's so special.
Mm-hmm.
What a special place Amazon Prime is.
I know, right? They keep it mostly buried, but every now and then it just kind of
You smell that garbage.
Floats to the top. Yeah. Speaking of garbage, no, I'm just kidding.
Uh-oh.
What have you been watching? Have you done anything watching wise?
Yes.
Cool.
But I forget what I know that I watched 2 movies
Nice.
recently, and one of them I remember saying, Aaron will be happy that I watched this. What was it? Oh, of course. I finally watched Blade Runner.
Nice.
It's weird. It
weird, is.
Dude.
Are you going to watch the Squeakquel?
I do want to watch the Squeakquel. Just got to figure out where to do that.
It was on Nerdflix for a while.
It was on Netflix, yeah, but it's no longer there.
It's not there anymore? Oh, okay.
Nope. But I mean, I don't
This
know.
is why I own Blu-rays.
That's fair.
I want to be buried with my Blu-ray collection like a fucking pharaoh.
Because no one appreciates them as much as you do.
Exactly.
That's so silly. So yeah, I watched that. It's super weird. Really rich world building.
Yes.
No,
I'm guessing you watched it on Netflix, yeah?
Yeah.
So I'm guessing you watched the final cut.
The final cut, that is correct.
So, yeah, so I mean, I guess if you've never seen it before, then you're not really going to be, I can't really ask you like, oh, like, how did you feel about it? It just did anything
comparison to the other ones. Yeah.
yeah. Did anything stand out to you as like that looks too good or too new?
Like editing graphics wise?
Yeah.
Not really, no.
Not really. Cool. That's yeah.
Yeah.
There's stuff that stands out to me because I'm like, I was most familiar with the director's cut because that was like the only one that was on DVD and video for the longest time. And so that's the one that I've seen the most. And so yeah, watching the final cut, there was definitely some things where I was like, oh, I think that looks a bit different. But for the most part, I think it was, it's a fine way to watch the movie. There's certain coloring changes that they've done in some scenes too that kind of stand out as weird to me.
Yeah, I guess it's hard if you've already seen a version of it to see a different version of it. It can be a little weird.
I don't know if you've seen like so the Lord of the Rings just came out on 4K. And people have been posting like comparison screenshots, and like the colors look really bad.
Oh.
Like they've been desaturated quite a bit.
What?
Yeah. It's very... The general consensus is, this sucks, we don't like it.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
Huh. What a shame.
Yeah, so that's one thing. What was the other thing you watched?
Well,
where do you want me to go?
It was just released to the general public. Well, the general public that has a D+ subscription on Friday.
Oh, you did
the new Mulan.
Oh, you did it. Okay.
Yeah.
How was that?
Way better than I thought it was going to be.
Really?
Yeah. I was very skeptical. I love the original Mulan, so
well, yeah. And in this one,
had a high threshold
for sure. In this one, there's no songs, right?
No songs. They don't do singing. There's still beautiful music, and they still use Mulan's theme from the original.
Well, I remember watching the trailer and hearing like an orchestral of like "We'll Make a Man Out of You" in the trailer, and being like, "Oh, okay, so they're weaving that kind of stuff in." But there's no Mushu either, right?
No.
What? It's like the two best parts of the movie. The songs.
Those are absolutely excellent points.
And Mushu.
But no, I was so impressed at the emotional depth, and it was told in just slightly different ways that honestly made it more compelling than the original plot. The original being, the Disney movie.
Yeah.
And apparently it drew a lot more from the original Mulan story than the Disney movie did, which is why there's a witch in it. But no, it was... I loved it myself.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it is free now if you got Disney Plus, so I might check it out. There was no way I was going to spend $30 on that.
Oh, no, me neither.
I was like, yes, no. Because also, in my mind, I was like, it'll be up there eventually. There's no way they're going to keep the paywall up there forever.
Yeah,
they can't. There's
course.
No way. Do you know why they put it up there for free?
Because they weren't going to get any money from theaters?
Partially that, but also, I don't know if you heard, but Warner Brothers announced 3 days ago maybe, that their entire 2021 lineup of movies is going to premiere on HBO Max, their streaming service, the same day as it will come out in theaters.
What?
So we're talking Dune. We're talking The Suicide Squad. We're talking Matrix 4. We're talking The Conjuring 3.
Ugh.
In the Heights, if you're into musicals. Like, every single movie that was supposed to come out this year and got pushed back or that was already scheduled for next year is going to premiere in theaters wherever theaters are open. And at the same time, you'll be able to watch it at home on HBO Max. The caveat being, you have to have HBO Max. And to have HBO Max, you have to be American. So, kind of radically shifted the film release landscape.
Yeah.
For the next year. And like, who knows? I mean, maybe once vaccine rollouts happen and COVID is not really the thing that, you know, ruins
Informs
our
all
lives.
of our decisions.
Yeah. It's not the thing that drives our day-to-day life anymore. Maybe they will, you know, go back to a standard theatrical release model, but they basically said we can't predict at this point what the world is going to look like in 6 months. And so therefore we are going to just do our entire release schedule is going to premiere at the same time on HBO Max for a month. So it will be available to watch on HBO Max for a month, and then it will go to video on demand. So your iTunes store, Google Play rentals, like that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Digital rentals and stuff. And then by the time they've manufactured discs and are selling physical discs, I think maybe they might start to trickle back onto HBO Max, but it's and then maybe also into other markets, streaming services like Crave.
Right.
In Canada, Crave seems to be the Warner Brothers HBO hub for Canada.
Mm-hmm.
But that none of that stuff will be premiering on Crave, as far as I can tell. So
shoot,
yeah, and that starts with Wonder Woman 84 on Christmas Day.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Man, what a weird freaking time.
Yeah. But I mean, I can't really blame them for it. Like, movie theaters aren't open in like all the big markets. Like I know LA movie theaters haven't really been open all year. They just closed movie theaters here in BC. The drive-in theater even had to close.
Oh.
So like can't even do drive-ins anymore. Like, yeah. It is a very, very weird time.
No kidding.
So I won't be surprised if we see a Black Widow coming to HBO or coming to Disney Plus, in the near future kind of thing, even if it is for a limited time only.
Huh.
Who knows? Yeah.
Weird.
So yeah, that's fun. But, the good news is if you don't live in the United States, piracy is still a thing that no one can seem to stop. So just do that. We don't condone that. Yeah. Just get on the high seas, float out into international waters, and watch yourself The Matrix 4.
I didn't even know there was gonna be a Matrix 4. To be honest, I didn't know that.
They're doing a Matrix 4. Neo is back. Trinity is back. I assume Morpheus is back. They're all back, baby.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool, I guess.
It is cool. You're right. I don't know. It might be total shit, but it might be amazing. Who knows? One of the Wachowskis is directing it. I can't remember which one. It's not both of them, but yeah. Well, I guess we could talk about the Mandalorian then.
Yep. Fair.
Are you all caught up? Are you up to date?
Yes, I believe so. Pretty sure.
Do you want to start?
So
let's talk about the last two episodes.
Yeah. So
yeah.
The Mandalorian has shifted from having a bunch of fun little Easter eggs for the hardcore sweaty nerds to just having big main characters show up in the show, which is a big change in energy.
It's that look at the thing that you like. Mm-hmm. It's here.
Which is, I mean, we've talked about this is exactly what you were worried about before season 2 started airing.
Yes.
And so like intellectually, I'm like, okay, you brought him into the show, all right, sure. But then another part of me is like, I fucking love this.
Sure, yeah. So we'll do spoilers. I'll put a time code in if you want to skip. You've got 3 seconds to avoid spoilers.
Oh, here
2,
it comes.
1.
Oh no!
Fuck you, we're spoiling it. All right, so Ahsoka is back in action,
Yeah.
in live action
Yeah.
for the first time. Now, of the 2 episodes, episode 5 and episode 6, I think I like this episode better, maybe?
Referring to 5, the one with Ahsoka?
The one with Ahsoka. I think I like it better because between Ahsoka and Boba Fett, I'm more interested in Ahsoka.
Absolutely.
However, this was the first episode of the season this year where I multiple times while I was watching it, I was like, oh, I guess the set ends just about there, and that's where the screen starts.
Oh, like you could tell?
Yeah.
Oh no.
And multiple times during this episode, I kind of went, okay, that's where.
Oh no, that's so sad.
And I think that's in part to it being a Dave Filoni joint. This is only the 3rd live action thing he's directed. The other 2 things being 2 episodes of The Mandalorian in season 1.
Mm-hmm.
And he actually directed my least favorite episode of season 1, which is
Which one was that?
the
He
one.
did the first one, right?
He did the first one, which is good.
Yeah.
I really liked it, which is kind of why I was so surprised that that this one stood out to me so much, because that one I didn't think it stood out at all. But the one where he goes back to Tatooine in season 1
Oh, the one with Fennec?
with Fennec Shand, yeah,
Oh.
that's my least favorite episode of season 1.
Speaking of Mulan, hey.
Yeah, she is Mulan. That's right. Yeah. So that kind of took me out of it a bit.
Yeah, that's too bad.
And also they, like I've seen other people kind of complain about that too. But like, there's something about the cinematography in this, and I can't just quite put my finger on what it is. It's kind of standing out, and I'm like, yeah, I get it. And there's shots in there where he's like mirroring Kurosawa movies. Like someone put up a shot for shot comparison of like that and Yojimbo, and I'm like, okay, that's fun. That's a fun nod, because like George Lucas was a big Kurosawa fan.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, it left me a little bit soured in that sense. Overall I enjoyed the episode. And I liked seeing Michael Biehn in the episode. That was fun.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, there's just those kind of little things that bothered me a little bit. But overall,
Question,
I thought
were you expecting for the show to go a little bit sour for you?
I don't know. Well, I wasn't soured for the reasons I was expecting, maybe. Like, I knew Ahsoka was going to show up, and I was excited to see Ahsoka in live action. And I thought Rosario Dawson did a really good job.
Yeah, I thought she did a great job.
There was a part of me, when they announced that she was cast, I was like, well, why can't Ashley Eckstein just do it? Like, what's stopping? It's just put her in makeup. Like, she's even done cosplay as Ahsoka and looks really good. And I'm like, so for me, I'm like, you know what? Like, I was giving Rosario, like, she already in my mind needed to prove herself quite a bit, and I thought she did a good job. So I wasn't worried about that. Like, I could tell that she studied the animated series and studied the character, and like her mannerisms were very much in line with what Ashley Eckstein did. So I overall I was happy with that. I was just it was the filmmaking itself that kind of took me out of it.
That's a shame.
And there's just like, a couple little things. Like you see her face in like one of the first shots, and I'm like, you know what? Like she's running around in the dark through the fog, like killing all these guys. Like save the face reveal for later. Like when she takes off her hood, like that should be like the big hero shot. But you see her face in like the second shot that she's in.
Yeah.
And so there's just like little tiny, it's nitpicky, I know, little tiny things like that where I'm like, I wouldn't have done that. And I think a more experienced director also wouldn't have done that.
I see. Yeah.
You know, like I think if Jon Favreau directed this episode, wouldn't have had that problem. But no one was going to direct Ahsoka Tano's live action debut other than Dave Filoni. So, talk about Boba Fett.
Yeah, let's move on from Tano to Fett.
This is where my feelings get spicy.
And then also, alongside that, just Fennec Shan, who is a cool character.
Cool character, thumbs up.
But I was also like, okay with the fact that she died.
Yep, but now she's a droid, I guess.
Yep, got some droid intestines.
Yeah, that was a bit weird,
wasn't it?
Where she just like pulled the thing aside and it's like, oh, so you're just all robot? You can just do that? How do you poop? Do you poop? What keeps the living parts of you alive? Because we've seen limbs be replaced,
Yep.
Darth Maul had the entire lower half of his body replaced.
Absolutely.
So I assume pooping isn't an issue for Darth Maul.
Potentially.
Or he has like a stoma bag that he has to empty periodically. Wouldn't that be a fun fact to learn?
Google it. No, don't Google it.
No, don't Google it. Maybe people in Star Wars don't have buttholes. Maybe, we don't know what their anatomy is. Maybe they just absorb all of everything from the food they eat and it just gets...
Yeah, you know what? I'm pretty sure that in the Star Wars universe, there's only one species that actually has a butthole. They're called Gungans.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And they poop.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure animals poop because we saw that one thing on Tatooine fart at Jar Jar.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And he was like, oh, it stinks. Anyways, Fennec Shan's a droid. That was weird. Let me start off with the positives. Great to see Temuera Morrison back.
He's intense.
Yeah. I like that his face has been partially digested.
Yep.
That's cool.
He looked messed up and it was great.
Yeah. I like that he's kind of fat.
I also enjoyed that.
It's like, oh, Boba Fett's got a bit of a dad bod.
Yep.
Which, for someone who's been wandering the deserts of Tatooine for the last 5 years, been eating okay.
Yeah, I guess he knows how to survive.
Dude looks like he's been eating the whole bantha. But so that was fun.
And him fighting with that weapon that looked like it belonged to a Tusken Raider.
Oh, the
that
gaffy stick,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah. That was pretty intense.
All that shit was awesome.
The fight scene was great.
That was my favorite part of the episode, I think, was Boba Fett with the gaffy stick. As soon as he puts the armor on, it takes this shift, and these are my first two thoughts, was like, okay, here we fucking go. Gotta make Boba Fett cool.
Yep.
Because Boba Fett has never done anything cool.
It's true.
He dies like a punk.
Yep.
He's a loser.
Just stands in the background.
He can't shoot Luke Skywalker from like 4 feet away from him.
Mm-hmm.
He sucks.
Yep.
But everyone wrote comic books and novels about how cool he is. And so when this scene, started, when he shows up with the armor and starts kicking ass, I was like, this feels like a fan film to me.
Yeah.
It feels fair. and kind of looks like a fan film to me a little bit.
Oh yeah?
Like I was like, I feel like I've seen this short already on YouTube. Like it
Oh
was
no.
like it was like a Freddie Wong short from like 2010 or something like that. Like that was the vibe I got.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, if the episode had ended with like him getting his armor back and like taking it with him instead of him just, kind of all of a sudden having it on,
yeah,
that would have probably been
but he needed to
a
get his
better
armor
choice.
out of the Razor Crest before it got blown up.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. And so this is where my concern comes in, is that what I loved about the first season of The Mandalorian is that it was all new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's references to things, obviously he's a Mandalorian, so he looks kind of like Boba Fett. Grogu looks like Yoda. He's the same species as Yoda. There's a droid that looks like IG-88 that honestly probably could have been IG-88 if they didn't need to make it a different droid, but they did. But it's the same kind, So there's like little things where you're like, oh, okay. This obviously takes place in that universe, but everything that I'm seeing is new and original. And the only thing that kind of tied it to previous material was like the last shot of the season, like that I can think of, was like the last shot of the season when he cuts his way out of the TIE fighter and he has the Darksaber.
Yeah.
That's the only like specific object or thing that comes from somewhere else in Star Wars lore. Everything else is like, okay, there's an Ugnaught. We've seen Ugnaughts before. Okay, there's a Blurg. We've seen Blurgs before. The Mandalorian's weapon is the same weapon that Boba Fett uses in the holiday special. They talk about Life Day. There's like little sprinklings of stuff.
Yeah.
But there was never, hey, look at the thing you like. Remember how much you like it? Here it is. It's the thing.
Yep.
And they've done that 3 times this season.
Yep.
Bo-Katan, Ahsoka Tano, Boba Fett.
Mm-hmm.
Even like, Timothy Olyphant having Boba Fett's armor in the first episode is like a cool thing. Because it's like, oh, we know where that came from. But now here's a cool new, very handsome character.
Yeah. It was actually really funny. I saw Boba Fett's armor and I was like, oh, that's Boba Fett's armor. But who's under there? I think I recognized that voice. And it was funny to me that it was more of a reveal that Timothy Olyphant was in the episode than it was that was Boba Fett's armor.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Ah, he's handsome.
So, is he the handsomest person in Star Wars?
Oh.
Like, he might be.
That's... I mean...
Like, okay, you got Oscar Isaac. You got Harrison Ford in the 70s.
Yeah.
You've got Billy D. Williams.
Mm.
Timothy Olyphant, he's pretty sexy.
I don't know. Like, yeah.
But
let's
regardless.
play Bone, Marry, Kill. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay.
I was kidding.
All 3 Timothy Olyphant. Anyways. I want the life insurance policy. It's fine.
Okay. Moving on.
Yeah, that's that's the last bit of the episode. And now, him and Boba Fett are teaming up and they're going to be in Slave One and they're going to be going on, and I'm like, this is just, it's like they wanted to make a Boba Fett show, but they just didn't. And now they've like tried to reverse engineer it into a Boba Fett show.
Yeah, it's weird too, because I know that Jon Favreau has talked before about how the show is kind of like, you want to play Star Wars with your toys, but like maybe your older sibling like took all the good ones and all that you have is like the leftover toys, but you still make your own story with like, the dregs of the cast. Like, oh, you only have a little Ugnaught, but you'll make them a good character and stuff. Which was a really interesting way of thinking about the show, and was, like you said, part of what made season 1 so good. It was a bunch of original characters and shit.
Yeah.
So it's weird that there's such a shift in direction there.
Yeah, it seems to be the more of a focus on fan service in the negative sense. At least for me. But I also find when I read fan reactions online and stuff that what I want out of something and what the average fan wants out of something seems to be very different.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, I think the ultimate rule when you're dealing with pre-existing materials is that you should give the audience, don't give the audience what they want or what they think they want. You should give the audience something they didn't expect and didn't know they needed.
That is a really good way of putting it. I like that.
Yeah. So we've got 2 episodes left in the series or in this season. Who knows? Who knows where it's going to go?
Yeah.
I'm still invested in it.
Yeah, me too.
But I think there's kind of been, I mean, nothing has touched the lows of episode 2 of this season, which I think is my least favorite episode of the whole show so far.
Which one was that again?
The one with the ice spiders.
Oh.
It felt like a filler episode. Like you could have just totally.
I think it helped kind of establish a little bit oh damn it, words. The TIE fighters and the thing they represent, that they're like out there policing, but like
the X-Wings?
No, but like they're not the Empire, they're the
New Republic?
New Republic. Fuck me. They
yeah.
The New Republic is there and they have a presence, but it's like not very big and they can't do much and like times are tough, and that kind of helped set up oh damn it.
I don't know.
Think worth
I don't
today.
know. I think like if that was the entire point of the episode, like you could have done that much more succinctly in either the end of the first episode or the beginning of the second episode.
Yeah, that's true.
But
yeah, we'll just have to see where it goes.
Yep. We'll see.
We're still gonna watch it, so.
Oh, definitely, and they left it on a big cliffhanger. So yeah, I'll be very interested to see what happens. I think I think obviously Ahsoka is going to come back. It seems like they're doing what they did last season, where he made friends with Cara Dune. He made friends with the Ugnaught, so he's going to go get them, and they're all going to get the band back together, and then they're going to go,
kick some doors down.
Yeah, they're going to go rescue the kids. So I think he's going to go get Ahsoka Tano. He's going to go, maybe Bo-Katan will show up again. Who knows? It looks like they're going to go get what's his name? The guy, Bill Burr.
Oh, right.
From the prison ship episode. Looks like they're going to get him.
Wait, why are they getting Bill Burr again?
Who knows? I don't know.
I mean, I'm not complaining.
No.
I'm just curious. I don't quite remember what the reason was.
He's coming back. I don't know.
Right.
So they're going to get the gang back together. They're going to go rescue the kid and defeat the Moff.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know. Let's see where it goes. I think they can turn it around for me, but I just want more original stuff.
Yeah.
I get it's tempting. It's so tempting when the toys are right there.
Mm-hmm.
You want to reach for, maybe just another piece of cake. You just want to get just a little bit more, and then a little bit more.
Cake.
But that's how you get fat and die. So exercise your brain, come up with some new shit, and put it out there. That's how we got new characters like Ahsoka Tano.
This is true.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
Don't get a fat brain.
And like, if you're out of ideas, fucking call George Lucas. He's not doing anything. He's doing nothing. Half the time he's hanging out on the set with them anyways. So like,
yeah,
just fucking call him. Anyways,
yeah. Well,
yeah.
yeah.
Who do you think the Jedi is gonna be that answers the call?
Oh, jeez, I don't know.
Think he's gonna be Luke Skywalker?
I just really, really like. I want, if there's gonna be another Jedi, I just really want it to just be an original character. To be honest, like
Probably be Ezra Bridger.
that did cross my mind. Yeah,
Especially after she name drops Admiral Thrawn.
right.
Yeah. I don't know. Who knows?
Time will tell.
Time will tell. There's new Star Wars stuff coming out all the time. The Cassian Andor show apparently is filming in London right now.
Oh.
And Obi-Wan's going to be filming, I think, in the new year, so...
Ooh, no, that's one I want to see real bad.
Absolutely. That's all I need,
Speaking
honestly.
of hot men.
Ooh, yeah. Especially now.
Oh, it just gets better.
He's got a little bit of silver in the beard.
Oh, yeah.
He's got that Scottish accent. Sexy man.
If only he could be Scottish in Star Wars.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Well, there's Scottish people in Star Wars. That guy in The Force Awakens.
Well, yeah, but never
Han
main
Solo,
characters.
you're a dead man.
Yeah, that guy was great.
Why don't you ask Conja Club?
You do a good Scottish accent, dude.
I thank you.
From my opinion. Maybe our Scottish listeners will write in and be like, what the fuck are you even talking about? Which is the most common comment we get.
Could be. Speaking of Scottish people, this is a great segue into a shout out that we have to do for another podcast. The Film for Thought podcast is a new podcast hosted by Amy Smith. She is a film reviewer from Scotland, and she's been reviewing films for a while, but she launched a new podcast. It's called Film for Thought, and you can find it on all the podcast things and at filmforthought.co.uk.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's basically every episode, it's a weekly podcast, and every episode a new guest comes on to talk about a film of their choice, controversial to classic, old to new. And every week there will be a different film and many discussions to be had.
Nice, yeah. It's good.
Yeah, just got 3 episodes out. Silver Linings Playbook, Portrait of a Lady on Fire, and Dr. Sleep. So
I still haven't seen Dr. Sleep.
It's really good. Watch it, and then listen to the podcast.
Hey, perfect. Got my plan.
Yeah, nice. So you can see she's got a wide variety of films to be covered. So, yeah, thanks, Amy, for doing cool podcast stuff.
Yeah.
Now, thanks for joining the podcast world. You've been in the written world for a long time, and now you're with us. So check it out. I've listened to the first 2 episodes. It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
It's entertaining.
And honestly, the best time to support a podcast is when it's brand spanking new.
Absolutely.
So go share the love by listening to a podcast.
Listen to it. Let's jump right in. Since it's the holidays and since we're wrapping up our retrospective of the distant future, the year 2000, 12 months, 12 films, it's all come down to this. We could have done the Ron Howard Grinch movie.
Yep.
We didn't.
I watched it anyways, just to be clear.
Nice.
It's amazing.
We instead watched Reindeer Games.
We walk out of here. What's the first thing you're gonna do?
Go out and get myself a mug of hot chocolate.
A piece of pecan pie, right?
That's right.
He was a reformed ex-con who wanted to start a new life.
You, Ashley?
I have been dreaming about that smile for so long.
She was the girl of his dreams.
When I read what you wrote to me, I said, here's a guy they say is a criminal, but he's not.
When I get back in that room, you better be wearing nothing but a candy cane.
Welcome home, convict. Hey, sis.
But between them and happiness
What do you want from me?
I read your letters, convict.
He knows you worked at that casino.
stands a team of criminals who wanted to take down the state's richest casino.
It's just my luck. Finally meet a boy that I'm crazy about, and my brother wants him worse than I do.
You want to hear about some job of mine? I want some hot chocolate and some pecan pie.
Let's start talking.
I can really go for some onion rings.
What started out as love
Do you remember all those letters you wrote me about me and you against the whole world? We can have it all if you just give him what he wants.
could end up in murder.
What did you think's gonna happen? This thing's gonna be over? He's just gonna let me go? He's gonna shoot me in the back of the head like this.
You're gonna give me a disguise.
You're sending me into an Indian casino dressed like a cowboy.
It was that or a ballerina.
Hey,
He was talking to the manager inside there.
something tells me you're not being totally honest with me.
Rule 1, never put a car seat behind the wheel.
Ben Affleck, Gary Sinise, Charlize Theron. In the new thriller from John Frankenheimer.
Ow. Wow.
Reindeer Games.
A classic holiday flick. The Ben Affleck.
Yeah. Ben Affleck. In peak Ben Affleck time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many times did you watch this movie?
So it would be 1.5 because I couldn't finish it the first time.
Ooh, yeah.
Due to a migraine more than anything else. Well, half due to a migraine. And then I finished it today in preparation for this podcast.
Cool. I've seen it 2.5 times because we were going to record 2 weeks ago and then we had to reschedule. And then we were going to record last week and we had to reschedule. And in that week, I had forgotten everything that happened in the movie. So I was like, oh, fuck, I got to rewatch it. Whatever.
Yep.
Rewatched it and then had to reschedule. And then now we're recording. And I was like, fuck this. I am not watching this movie again. So I just kind of scrubbed through it this morning and watched a few scenes. I hate it. I hate this movie.
Ooh, just jumping right into it, hey?
Yeah. I can't even pretend to... No.
I'm really interested to see with its 2 hours of constant twists and turns whether or not we'll actually be able to recall the plot in its entirety.
Do we need to, though?
Well, I mean,
yeah.
that's all the movie is plot twists.
It is. It's
with
like Plot
no
Twist the
meaning.
movie.
Yes, that's all it is. So what else are we going to talk about if not the plot twists?
The screenwriter for this movie is a guy named Aaron Kruger, and he is probably best known today for writing like 3 of the 5 Transformers movies. But in 2000, he wrote 2 movies. He wrote this, and he wrote Scream 3. Both suck so much.
Which one sucks more?
This one.
Yeah, I haven't even seen Scream 3, and I knew the answer to that question.
Because Scream 3 has the benefit of like characters from 2 previous movies that you still enjoy watching and still like. And so you're like, okay, well, at the very least, these people are charming.
Yeah.
And I care about them, not because of any work that's been done in this script, but because of the hard work that was done by Kevin Williamson in the previous 2 scripts.
There you go.
And yeah. So, anyways.
Yes, we got Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
And
playing Rudy.
And Charlize Theron.
Yeah.
Who
is a babe.
She is very attractive. She can act when
Absolutely.
she wants to.
Yeah.
But occasionally throughout her career, she's just shown up for a paycheck, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, fun fact: she hates this movie,
Okay.
and she only did it because she liked the director John Frankenheimer, which I don't understand. Because from what I have heard about John Frankenheimer, he is an asshole.
Interesting.
And he's dead now, so I don't want to, besmirch the name of the dead when he's not here to defend himself. But like, so he directed The Manchurian Candidate, like the original one, and that's like, a classic. But like after that, like he directed like The French Connection 2, and came on to direct The Island of Dr. Moreau after the first director was removed. What else did he do? There was something else.
Removed.
Oh, he made Ronin. Ronin's a good movie.
I haven't seen that.
For the most part. I enjoyed Ronin, I think. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I remember it being good. It has a good car chase. But this was the last feature film he directed. He did one TV movie after this. But
Well, this is it for him, hey?
This was it for him. So
Nope.
I don't know why she wanted to work with John Frankenheimer so bad, but she did. So that's that's a quote that I looked up because I think everyone was kind of just showing up for a paycheck in this movie. So let's give it should we give it a brief rundown?
Yeah, let's do it. We've got
we can get into the specific twists and turns as we go, but let's give it an overall. This is the plot, and then
Yeah, okay, yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
So we're in prison.
Yeah.
It's Ben Affleck plays a character named Rudy. Other guy, whoops, sorry, dude, forgot your name.
Oh, I'll look it up. Keep
Okay.
going. Plays a guy named Nick.
Yeah, his best friend, or it's just his best friend in prison because they share a cell together.
It's his cellmate. His name is James Frain.
James Frain, right? I was gonna say James Franco, and I knew it was wrong.
You might remember him from such films as The Count of Monte Cristo and Tron Legacy.
Oh, yep, that is where I've seen him.
He plays Jarvis? I don't remember that character. That's okay, though. Anyways.
Yep, and his best friend... So they've been in prison together 2 years, and they're about to get out in like 3 days.
Yeah.
And Nick, the best friend character, has got a pen pal lady, never met.
Yeah. So I guess there's like I guess this was a thing. I don't know if maybe it's still a thing. There were like magazines that had like you could like have a prison pen pal kind of deal.
I think I've heard of that in other movies at least. I don't know if it's real.
Okay.
But it's a thing.
And I don't know if it's like just like so that convicts have someone to talk to or if it was like specifically for dating or what, but
yeah,
she
sure.
has been writing him letters and sending him photos and
Yep. And the
and
pictures are up on the cell wall, and that's how we learn that it is Mr. Ron.
And she is all this guy talks about.
Yep.
Tells Ben Affleck everything, reads all of her letters, shows him her picture. And unfortunately, 2 days before they're about to get out, there's a little scuffle in the mess hall.
Things get messy in the hall.
Uh-huh. And Nick cops a shank in the gut and dies in Ben Affleck's arms.
Yep.
And he's obviously distraught about this. But, he gets out in 2 days and he gets on the bus and the bus is about to drive away and he's like, don't do it, Rudy. Don't do it. Don't do the thing. But then he does the thing.
Yep.
He gets off the bus and he goes up to Charlize Theron and he says, "Hey, Ashley, it's me, Nick."
Scum.
Yep. Grody dude.
Mm-hmm. And then they have an awkward cup of coffee because, of course, he started to leave and then came back, and so that's awkward. But then as soon as the awkwardness is relieved, he
tells her to smile.
Yeah.
It's like the first thing he does. That's my first note. It's like, telling a woman to smile. Great start.
Yeah, nailed it. Yeah. And then, and then we're only 18 minutes in, and we see the ass flick.
We do. And there's a sex scene that goes on for a while, apparently longer in the director's cut, which is what we watched. And it is completely ruined by Ben Affleck's butt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Should have used a butt double.
Should have showered before the scene, maybe.
Or that, yeah.
should have gone and gotten a full body wax, sir. There's hair and stuff and look.
Which is completely natural. We're not
trying to body shame. It is completely natural. Here. But I don't want to see that in a movie. Maybe I'm being gross. I don't know. I saw it and I was like, oh, dude, should have scrubbed up.
Yeah, I mean, I want to say that it's fine, but it's not. And like,
yeah. And the fact that no one was like, maybe we should go again, or like, maybe he's like such a movie star that you can't pull him aside and be like, hey man, go wash your ass crack right now. Like, you know. We'll hold. Just like duck out to your trailer, just have a quick shower, come back. We'll be good. No. No one said. Yeah, let's do that one again. No, they just kept it in the movie. I think it got cut out in the theatrical. I tried to like look up what the difference was. This movie's kind of like another Ben Affleck movie, Daredevil, where you can't get the theatrical version anymore. You can only get the director's cut.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So something about Ben Affleck. He makes shitty movies and then people try to fix them later, I guess. I don't know.
You know, interesting actually, when the big dude, I think the character's name was Alamo, is coming over with the shiv in the mess hall earlier.
Oh yeah, his name is Alamo.
As soon as I saw that shiv, I saw the entire plot of a romantic comedy before me, where I was like, oh, best friend's gonna die. Ben Affleck's gonna get out, pretend to be his best friend. The girl's gonna fall in love with him, and then he's actually gonna fall in love with her, and then the truth's gonna come out, and they're gonna break up, and then they're gonna have a big reunion at the end. That's the romantic comedy that I was expecting. Boy, did that not happen.
That did not happen. The dead Santas in the very beginning didn't give it away.
I may have forgotten about the dead Santas that we see.
Fair enough.
It's
shot. A very it's a very, very fleeting. You know, you see a series of dead Santas and it's like 6 weeks earlier or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Or 6 days earlier, maybe. It's all pretty quick.
Yeah, it does happen really fast.
Yeah. So anyways, they make love and then they go shopping and she buys him a new coat and they're having a great time on the town and they go back to the motel room and their plan is to just hang out in the motel room and fuck all winter, like until New Year's, basically. And I'm like,
New Year's.
Look, if I had the option to spend all of Christmas in a hotel room with Charlize Theron, like I would probably take that, as well. Assuming she was into it as well, obviously. I'm not going to trap her there.
Well, yes, good clarification, but I was not assuming that.
Okay, good. Just your silence made me uncomfortable. So, there's like a little part of me that's like, look, man, I get it. She's hot. You want to spend Christmas. And he's even going like, okay, just gotta, after New Year's, I'll tell her. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, he's like give her her holiday.
Give her her holiday. That's right. Yeah, he's like trying to talk himself into it.
Cop-out. That's a cop-out.
It's like, yeah, but you're still just being a bad guy.
Yeah.
Like you're just gonna...
He should have gone up to her immediately after getting out to be like, hey, are you Ashley? And she'd be like, yeah. Are you Nick? And he'd be like, no.
Nick's
dead.
Yeah. Well,
and I'm his friend. Let's go talk about it, and I'll help you get through it.
Yeah.
No.
That would have been the smart move. But in the very next scene, he walks in. She's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go pay for the room, and you go take off all your clothes. You better only be wearing a candy cane when I get back," is what she says. And he goes into the room, and there's goons.
Lots of goons.
Lots of goons, and they beat the shit out of him. And they're like, "Hey, Merry Christmas, Nick." And he's like, "You got the wrong guy. I was lying. I'm not really Nick. Nick's dead. I was just pretending to be Nick so that I could sleep with Charlize Theron." And the guy's
he confesses like she's back in the room at this point too. Like he confesses right in front of her.
Yeah. And the dude's like, "So you're telling me that you pretended to be a different guy so that you could bang my sister, and you think that telling me this is going to help your cause?"
Yeah, he's scum. And I love that he gets called out on that right away.
Yeah. Even if it's by an even scummier dude.
Yeah, looks real skeezy. For sure.
Yeah. And so their plan is to rob this casino that Nick used to work at.
Mm-hmm. Because he wrote about it in his letters to Ashley.
Exactly. And so their plan is to get him to join them against his will as kind of a man on the inside, with the inside knowledge of the casino. And so at first he's like, no, I'm not Nick. You got the wrong guy, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, well, like, we're not letting you go. So he pretends to be Nick.
Yeah, there's just too much back and forth with that. We're like, immediately, obviously, he's like, I'm not Nick.
Yeah.
And then they're like, okay, well, if you're not, then we'll kill you. And then he's like, oh, I'm definitely Nick. And then one of the goons, who, by the way, the goons are the best part of this movie, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
One of the goons is like, no, like he was talking privately with your sister, saying that he wasn't Nick. He's definitely not Nick. And then he's like, no, I definitely am Nick now. Now I'm Nick.
Yeah.
And then later he's like, oh, I'm not Nick. And then eventually it's like, it's clear that he's been lying the whole time, and yet still no one doesn't think he's Nick. And
Yeah, well, the plot, this is where the many plot twists come in, where the whole plan is stupid. So let's get to that. So basically it goes back and forth with, I'm Nick, I'm not Nick. He's pretending to be Nick. They get him to go to the casino. He's like, oh, this blueprint you have is totally wrong. Like they've remodeled since this is old. So we got to go in and map out the casino. So he goes in dressed as like a weird cowboy. And there's a fun Ashton Kutcher cameo where he trades outfits with Ashton Kutcher.
Yep.
Which is like the best scene in the movie probably for me. Watching Ashton Kutcher get chased through Prince George parking lot by like a Gary Sinise in a Pontiac Sunfire. Like, it's the stupidest thing. This movie's filmed in Prince George, by the way, BC.
Fun.
And it looks about the same.
Yeah.
I was just there a few months ago. About the same.
Makes sense.
Yeah. This is fun. This is the second Gary Sinise movie we've done this year, because he was also in Mission to Mars.
Oh, right.
Huh. Yeah. Oh, and there's a great scene where he says, like, don't play no reindeer games with me, boy.
Oh, yeah.
And that, I was like, oh, check mark. Said the name dropped the movie.
I also wrote that down. Don't play no reindeer games with me. Like, no,
my favorite. It's my favorite thing for a bad movie to do. And there was a Twitter account recently that was like doing that joke, but like putting in like fake ones.
Oh,
like, it'd be like a shot of Kurt Russell in Big Trouble from Little China, and he'd like be like looking all intense and be like, and then it'd have like a subtitle on it, be like, looks like there's gonna be big trouble in Little China, and like stuff like that, right? They burned through the joke in about 4 hours. They did like 40 tweets. It's like, you used 2 months worth of material.
Whoops.
In about 4 hours. You guys ruined it. Good job. But yeah, so that like they go check out this casino. You get introduced to the casino manager guy. and it's a Native American casino, but he's he's like an old Las Vegas guy, and now he's in like northern Michigan running this roadside casino. And he's very proud about the fact that he has both Pepsi and Coke at the bar.
Yeah.
Very
it's a big deal.
Very, very happy about that.
And if there are for some reason any fans of New Girl who listen to our series, the casino manager plays the character Nick's father in that show.
Oh, okay. I was trying to figure out
real
where
sleazebag.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out where he's from because I'm like, he looks like Burt Reynolds, but he's not Burt Reynolds.
Definitely not. That's the only thing that I recognize them from.
Yeah, I think I looked him up and I was like, there's like a couple things that like maybe I've seen you in, but I don't remember you in that. But you look familiar. He's that guy. You know.
That's fair.
Yeah. So they flip flop on he is Nick, he's not Nick, he's gonna help them. There's he chases them. He tries to escape and they chase him and end up murdering an ice fisherman who sees them. That sucked.
Mm-hmm.
But then, okay, should we get into the plot twists? Is it time? Because it's kind of hard to recount the rest of the plot without getting into it.
Yeah, I guess so. Because like we've already, let's sure.
Okay. So they're holed up in a motel, or a hotel, I guess. I don't know. I guess it's a hotel because the rooms are inside. And they've like handcuffed him to the bed, and he sneaks out of his room one night and sneaks down to the pool. I guess he's trying to sneak out.
Yeah,
it's unclear what he's doing.
He managed to get out of his room, out of the handcuff. He went to go rob some guy's car that had like an "I love my guns" sticker because he was trying to get a gun, and then there was just no gun, but he did get a switchblade. And then I think he was just trying to make his way back, like through the hotel up to his room because his room was on the upper floor.
Right.
And then he like hears Ashley shouting and then follows the sound of her voice to the pool.
Right. Yeah. So she's in the pool with Gary Sinise, who at this point we believe is her brother.
Mm-hmm.
And they're talking about Nick, and we learn that they are actually lovers.
Mm-hmm.
And
not siblings, just to clarify.
And not siblings, yes. Yeah. They are actually lovers, and they are using him to rob the casino. Even though he's not Nick.
Yeah, but they still, for some reason, believe he is, even though he's obviously not at this point. But she's just trying to use him for the intel that he obviously doesn't have, because everything he says is wrong.
Because they go and rob the casino dressed as Santas, and shit immediately starts going wrong. Their plan is dumb to begin with. It's like Christmas Eve, I guess, or it's there's like a couple of old timers playing blackjack, and a couple people playing slots. Like not a lot is happening in the casino. So these two guys come in dressed as Santa. One of them's Ben Affleck. I can't remember who the other one is. Because that's the other thing is like it's very confusing. Everyone comes in dressed as Santa. You really only get a sense for who Ben Affleck is. And then Gary Sinise takes his beard off at one point, and so then it's obvious who he is, but like you can't tell who's who or what's going on. But so they start robbing the casino. Like a shootout immediately starts.
Yep. With
the security guards. They bust open the counting room where they're counting the money, and dudes are waiting for him with shotguns. Mm-hmm. And he had told them like, no, there's no guns in the count room. Don't worry about it. And they're like, what's the password for the count room? And it's like, well, you just use a key. There's no passcode. So they shoot the door open, and then one of the guys immediately gets shotgunned to death.
Yep.
It's real dumb. And it all ends up in the manager's office because Ben Affleck dropped a lie, or I don't know if it was a lie, or I guess the real Nick told him about it in prison. But what he told them was that the manager's been skimming from the tribe and keeping some cash in a safe in his office that he calls his powwow safe.
Mm-hmm.
And so it all, ends there where they've got a ton of money. Charlize crashes the car through the doors of the casino, and she's in there now, and like a couple of the guys are dead. They get Ben Affleck up to the office, and Gary Sinise is screaming, and the guy's like, "Where's the powwow safe? Where's the powwow safe? I want the powwow safe." And she's like, "We gotta go. We got enough money." And they're asking Ben Affleck. He's like, "Where's the powwow safe, Nick?" She's like, "There is no powwow safe. He's not Nick." He's like, "No, there is a powwow safe. There totally is." And somehow at this point, they figured out that, because the guy, the manager, they're like, "You remember Nick Morton or whatever his name is?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure. Used to work here like a couple years ago." It's like, "Yeah, well, that's him." It's like, "That's not him."
Yeah.
Yeah. And
that's only then when someone who did know Nick confirms that it's not Nick, when they finally piece it together.
Yeah.
Bunch of idiots.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, you fucked the wrong guy, Ashley. Story of your life." And so it's like, "All right, there's no powwow safe. Let's go." And he's like, No, there is a powwow safe. Nick told me about it." It's like, "Well, where is it?" It's behind the liquor cabinet. And so they pull the liquor cabinet aside. Sure enough, there's a safe. And he grabs the manager. He's like, open the safe. And so,
which is also like another thing that is just extremely stupid. And it does come up earlier in the movie when the guy pretending to be Nick says to, like, it comes up with Ashley, like he's asking like how many places have they robbed? And he's like, "I'm pretty sure this is their first." And so like these people have never actually robbed a joint.
Yeah, they're gun runners.
Yeah, they're gun runners.
They drive guns across the border into Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so like my first thought was like, oh no, like you should get the combination from the manager. Don't get the manager to open it.
Yeah.
But he wasn't that smart.
Nope, because what was in there was some fucking Uzis, apparently.
Yep.
Because, he turns around with these Uzis, and then it gives a dramatic push in on Ben Affleck, and he's like, "Pow, wow." And the dude just starts unloading on these guys. And yeah, so then, big old chase happens.
Basically, like everyone in the room is killed except for Ben Affleck, Ashley, and Ashley's not brother.
Yeah, well, Ben Affleck kills one of the goons in the stupidest way ever. So they don't give him a real gun. They give him a squirt gun that looks like a real gun. And earlier in the movie, he fills it with rum.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a bit of a tussle, and both of them lose their guns, and the bad guy ends up with the real gun. Nick has the squirt gun, and he's like, "Yeah, any last words, Nick?" As he like pulls out a cigarette and starts to light it. I can't remember what he says, but basically he like squirts him with rum and sets him on fire.
Yep.
But like sets him on fire like a lot.
Yeah. He
I don't know. Yeah.
turns on the lighter, squirts it, and then all of a sudden it's like an explosion of flame, and he's immediately completely covered in fire.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if you know anything about alcohol, but like it has to be really high proof in order to burn. Like the average bottle of vodka that you have in your cupboard is not gonna burst into flames. Now, maybe he had like 151 proof rum, which would burn, but the other thing about alcohol is it burns really fast.
Yeah.
And which is why they used to use it for like full body burns on movie sets, is because it would burn really fast and not actually burn the skin.
Right, it would just burn
too
off.
much. It would burn off, right? Like you can set your hand on fire. If you dip your hand in rubbing alcohol and set your hand on fire, like you can do that and it will burn out very quickly. I'm not endorsing this.
Yeah, that's a good caveat. Don't
Just
go try
say,
that.
Don't do this and set your house on fire saying that the Retro Craptacular said it was fine. I'm not saying it's fine. I'm just saying I've seen videos of other people on the internet doing that.
Right.
And
Good
it was fine for them.
Yeah.
As far as I know. But still don't do it.
Yeah.
The Retro Craptacular says no. Anyways,
So yeah, that scene did not make sense.
it's stupid, but Flaming Santa flies out the window and lands on the hood of a car, and that's great. It's great Christmas imagery. I loved it. So then they capture Nick again. He chases them. Capture Nick again, or Rudy. At this point, he's Rudy. They, put him in the back of the semi truck that they're driving. It's got the car in the back, and their plan is to burn him alive in the car and push it off a cliff, because
and they throw like a little bit of the money in there.
Yeah, because somehow only 5 Santas were seen on the security cameras.
Yeah,
which she
5
says,
Santas went in, and 5 Santas need to be seen.
Yeah, she keeps saying we gotta have 5. We gotta have 5.
But there were 6 of them.
There were 6 of them, and I mean, she drove her car in. I mean, I think he shot all the VCRs and stuff after.
Yeah.
Or before she did that, so maybe they shot all the VCRs at. Then what does it matter how many Santas?
Okay, there were like still a few people, like the old man and the waitresses.
Oh, the witnesses. Yeah, okay, that's a good point. Oh yeah, she does mention that actually. Now that you bring that up, yeah. So there's that. Anyways, they duct tape his hands to the wheel. No, not yet.
Well, they tie it with a belt.
They tie with a belt, but not yet, because
oh right,
they're Gary Sinise drags him to the edge of this cliff, and he's like, "Yeah, we're gonna throw you down there, and the car's gonna explode, and all the money is gonna be burned up, and there's gonna be a dead Santa on there, and we're gonna get away scot-free." Blah blah blah, and Charlize somehow slips that the other Nick took a shiv in the gut.
Yeah, if only Nick hadn't been shivved in jail, then you wouldn't have met me.
Yeah. And Ben Affleck's like, hold on. I never said that he took a shiv. I said that he died. And she's like, well, no, like a shiv, a blade, a shank, whatever. He's like, no, I just told you that he died. I never said how.
And then she continues to defend it. Like, no, you told me he died defending you from someone else. And he's like, no, I didn't tell you that.
Yeah.
I was like, no, but you told me he got shivved in jail. You told me that. No, I didn't tell you that. And it goes on for more time than it needs to.
Yeah, until Gary Sinise is like, what the fuck's going on? And then she's like, ugh, fine. And she shoots Gary Sinise.
Yep.
So he's dead. And then, lo and behold, the real Nick shows up again. Because he wasn't dead. He faked it. And he paid the guards to say that he'd, copped it. And this whole thing was a plan that his girlfriend, Millie Gergich, or whatever her name is.
No, that was right.
Was it? Millie Bobich? Millie Gergich is from Parks and Rec.
Oh.
That's Jerry Gergich's daughter. Anyways,
right.
It's Millie something though, right?
I think you got Millie right, yeah.
Yeah, so anyways, it turns out that Ashley was Millie all along, and she was writing these letters to Nick, pretending to be Ashley, and Nick was reading them out loud to Rudy, so that he would, start to, kind of get, interested in her.
Fantasize about her.
Yeah, and so her plan was to start dating a trucker who runs guns. Convince him that she's going to write to an ex-con in prison that she found in a magazine. Once she has done that, she finds out about the casino. Then he's like, we should rob this casino. And when he gets out, we'll rob the casino. We'll use him as a man on the inside. we won't tell him this in the prison letters, but as soon as he gets out, I'll pretend to be his girlfriend. So they do that. Then what's really happening is Ben Affleck, or the real Nick dies, and then Rudy pretends to be, and then they're just hoping that he's gonna go along with this plan, or that he's gonna do exactly what they expect him to do, right?
Yeah, the part of the 2-year-long con was to get Rudy to pretend to be Nick in order to get with Ashley.
Yeah.
That was part of the plan.
So that she could convince another guy that he was Nick, and they were going to rob the casino together using his expertise, and then somehow kill all of them, assuming that the plan goes off without a hitch, which of course it didn't. But it went off well enough that she got away with some of the money. Like, it's just a very sloppy plan.
Yeah, like, that's a dumber idea than dressing up like Santas and going to just rob a casino.
Yeah, like, why not just have the real Nick be like, hey guys, I'm the real Nick. I know everything about this casino that I used to work at.
The one with actual inside information.
Let's rob it properly.
Yeah.
Because, and I think the only reason they did this, one, I'm guessing there's two reasons. One, the screenwriter was too lazy to write an elaborate heist.
There you go.
Two, in movie explanation would be that they needed like a patsy that they could blame the robbery on, and then it went wrong, and he lost control of his car and drove over the cliff, and all the money burned up in the car.
Right, so no one would be looking for it.
No one would be looking for it. They'd get away scot-free. And no one would suspect Nick because he was in prison. He was in the prison.
He was dead, even.
Well, no, because he just paid the guard to spread the rumor that he was dead.
Right.
He was just in the prison infirmary for a couple days. Well, because he did get stabbed, but he didn't die.
Slashed across the ribs, yeah.
Yeah, he had a blood pellet, so he probably just had to get stitches and recuperate for a couple days. So it probably just delayed his release by a day or two.
Mm-hmm.
So he got out 2 days after Ben Affleck, and then 2 days. Well, no, but see the plant, they already robbed it now. It doesn't make sense. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, no, at that point, it's like everything has just come crumbling down, and the movie that you thought was dumb is, in fact, way dumber than you thought.
So much dumber.
It's incredibly stupid.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Not even in a fun way. Ho, ho, ho. Yeah, it is so fucking dumb. At one point, I wasn't even watching the movie. I was paying attention to oh, there's a video update in the back. That's fun. It's like an old Canadian video rental chain. Video update. We used to have one here.
Yeah, man. Been a long time.
I think it's an Indo-Canadian grocery store now. Anyways. That was fun. But yeah, what a dumb fucking movie. And it ends with they belt his hands to the steering wheel, but he's a car thief.
But the switchblade that he had stolen out of the back of someone else's car, he had taped to the inside of his wrist.
Ah.
And so all of a sudden he's like, whoosh, Assassin's Creed. And he gets out of the belt that way. And then, yeah, he was in jail for being a car thief, so he hotwires the car.
Yeah. And throws it in reverse first. They're pushing it out of the trailer, and it's going to roll off the cliff, right?
Yeah.
They put it in neutral, and you push it out of the trailer. He throws it into reverse, crushes Nick against the back of the trailer, and then Charlize is like, no, Nick, and jumps into the trailer and starts to shoot at him. But he just runs her over and jumps out of the car before it goes off the cliff, and she falls to the bottom of the cliff, and the car explodes.
Yep.
And I think he backs the truck up off the cliff too, doesn't he?
Yep. He also just gets rid of the entire truck.
Yeah.
And then it's just him and 2 big sacks of money.
Yeah. And I like what he does at the end, actually. I thought that was kind of a fun... I mean, it's not a fun twist, but the obvious thing would be for him to take the money. and be rich in secret, and no one would know, and he would like go on, live a happy life, Merry Christmas to him. But he just like walks back down the highway for God knows how long.
Still in his Santa coat.
Still in his Santa coat, back to his parents' house. And just every time he passes a mailbox, he just tucks a couple bundles of bills in there and keeps walking.
Yep.
To like every house. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of a fun little thing. He's Santa, he's just giving away the money.
Yeah, that part was fun. And then it ends with him being like at his family Christmas meal, and he's still partially dressed like Santa, has blood and soot on him, and he looks like shit, and everyone's just having a good meal together. I feel like there would have been more of a conversation
Does
when
he
he
have
got
blood
home.
and stuff on him still?
A bit, yeah.
Wow.
He got smacked around.
I know, I thought maybe he would have wiped it off or something.
No, he still looks like shit in that final shot where it's just him, it's just Ben Affleck looking like a big shit, and then he smiles.
Yeah,
and
he's
it's
grinning like a motherfucker.
Yeah. And yeah. And it's like a shot of the family meal, but then also a close-up of his face over top of the shot of the family meal. And it's horrifying.
Yeah. And it's like over the voiceover where he's like, all I want to do is like have a turkey dinner, watch the ball game with my old man. And yeah, he's in the fucking Santa coat with the blood like on the thing, and like his face looks okay.
Well,
but like I'm pretty sure there's like blood on like the cuff. Like,
mm-hmm.
Why is he still dressed like Santa?
Should have ditched that coat.
Yeah, like it's
100%.
evidence.
Yeah.
Because in the news, there's going to be like 5 Santas robbed a casino that's within walking distance of this house.
Mm-hmm.
Also, like, they should be able to track him back pretty easily because he was leaving a trail of money.
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
All the way back to his parents' house. Even if he kind of like went off route a little bit, they'd be like, well, you know who lives right around here is fucking Rudy's parents' house. Let's go give him a visit. Oh, look at you, dressed in a Santa costume, covered in blood.
What have you been up to?
But I mean, maybe no one reported that they had money in their mailbox. Maybe they're just like, oh, there's some money. I just keep
Merry Christmas to me.
Merry Christmas to me.
I mean, yeah.
You got to think there'd be at least one person with a conscience that would be like, nope, this is wrong. We have to return it to the authorities.
Or at least just like, hey, big bundles of money. What's this? Blood.
Yeah.
Should probably call the cops.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if there's blood on it, they'd probably be calling the cops. But
yeah.
Anyways, that was Reindeer Games.
Yes, it was.
Happy holidays, everybody. Anything we missed?
Well, just the one thing is that like we said before, the henchmen are actually the best part about that movie.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of the henchmen who was the only one who stated that this obviously wasn't Nick. He wasn't listened to, obviously, but he was the only one smart enough. The very first scene where they come into the motel room, Nick and Ashley get dragged out. But then one of the henchmen, all of a sudden it cuts over to him and he's just sitting on the bed eating cookies.
Yeah.
And he says, man, they got a shitload of cookies.
Yeah,
and,
that's right. That was great.
And Ashley's brother is like, well, take him. And he's like, okay. Should I get the tree too?
Yeah. There's also one where they're driving around in their semi-truck that's like their mobile command center kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the guys is like, did you know that like 50% of the retail business is done between, Thanksgiving and January 1st and, blah, blah, blah. So, like, people are suggesting maybe another gift-related holiday in the middle of the year, like Christmas too, in late May or early June. And Gary Sinise is like, ever since you started taking those night classes, you've just been a pain in my ass.
Yeah, that was good.
They're like, Christmas too? What a stupid idea. Oh, also, another thing that kind of made me uncomfortable was, like, all of this movie, like, it's like they only had 2 lenses for the whole movie, because there's never any like good close-ups. They're all these like weird wide-angle close-ups.
Yeah.
That make everyone look super awkward and bug-eyed and yeah, very uncomfortable. You noticed that too?
Yes, I did. I don't usually notice stuff like that, but it was that noticeable.
Yeah.
And there were also a lot of weird shots where like it's a close up of Ashley's brother.
I can't remember the character's name. The actor's Gary Sinise. I don't remember.
Yeah,
the
Gary
character.
Sinise. Yeah, what was it?
Gabriel,
sure. Where it's like, it's a shot
Oh,
of
because they call him Angel or something, don't they?
Monster.
That,
They
never
call
mind.
him Monster.
Well, that doesn't. I was like, oh, maybe it's like a clever nickname. Nope.
No, it's not.
They call him Monster. Okay, cool. Never mind.
But yeah, it's like there's several shots where it's a close up of him, but then like taking up 1/4 of the screen on the far left or right, completely in the foreground, is Danny Trejo.
Yeah.
Where it's just like half of his face just like almost right up against the lens, but the shot is over there on Gabriel. So why is that happening?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Very
But
dumb.
ultimately, I think the movie's biggest flaw was Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
Because he's our
probably.
main character, and he's scum, and he sucks, and they also tried to make him the comic relief throughout the whole movie, which is a very serious plot. You know, there's one point where Gabriel like literally throws darts into him.
Yep.
And then when he's brought back to the room where Ashley is, she's like, "Oh, what happened to you?" And he's like, "Oh, he had a lot of points to make." No.
Yeah.
No. It's not funny.
It's just dumb. It's just dumb. What do you think Rotten Tomatoes gave it?
12.
No, better than that actually.
26?
25.
25. That's really close. Okay. 25.
Whole quarter.
It's still low.
The
It's
audience
not as
gave
low
it
as I would've given
27.
it. Okay. Well,
Yeah, it says despite a decent cast, subpar acting, and a contrived plot, disappointed reviewers. I think that's pretty
Legit.
accurate. Yeah. Everyone in this movie is capable of acting well when they want to. Just none of them wanted to, apparently.
Seems like it.
Yeah. So.
Ashton Kutcher. That's so funny.
Okay, take it back. Almost everyone in this movie is capable of acting well when they want to.
There we go.
I don't think we have to beat around the bush with what our score is, so shall we just say it at the same time?
Absolutely.
3, 2, 1. That is one
That
big
is
pile
one
of
big
shit.
pile of shit. I'm sure that was only in time for one of us.
Yep, that's probably you.
That is one big pile of shit.
Fuck this movie. I hate it.
But the real end of the distant future, the year 2000, is to go watch The Grinch, because that movie's actually just great.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Do that. Merry Christmas, everybody. Yeah, what a weird year it has been.
Mm-hmm.
All movies from the year 2000. But you know what? We're going to be back next year. Whole new slew of movies. All from the year 2001. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I will not. No. We're going to go back to normal, I think. We're going to do a wide spread of different stuff.
Mm-hmm. Do some fun, old, crappy stuff.
Yeah.
And do some slightly newer stuff that maybe is just relevant.
Yeah. We'll try and
looking
come.
forward to it.
I've got a bunch of stuff I want to do and not enough time. So I don't know. We gotta figure something out because there's a lot of movies I want to do, but one a month is just, it's not free. We'll be doing this podcast for another 5 years.
Easily.
Well, hey, this wraps up our 4th year.
Man, 4 years.
Yeah. We started in March of 2017.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a long time ago.
It is a long time ago. But, yeah, wow. But what a ride it's been. I think this was a fun experiment to do, though.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a good question.
Experiment.
Yeah, here's a way to wrap it up. What was your favorite movie we watched this year?
Ooh. Well, in order to answer that question, I'd have to remember all the different movies we watched.
Here, I could pull it. I got it right here for you.
Okay.
I got your list of movies right here, pal. We watched Shaft.
Oh, yeah.
Hollow Man.
Uh-oh.
We did the quarantine movies in March. Mission Impossible 2. Battlefield Earth. Mission to Mars. Red Planet. Dungeons and Dragons. Heavy Metal 2000. Vertical Limit. Dracula 2000. Godzilla 2000. And Reindeer Games.
Well, it's Shaft.
Is it Shaft?
Yeah, it's definitely Shaft for me.
Shaft is awesome. I also loved Vertical Limit, though.
Oh, man.
I think Vertical Limit is a lot of fun. I might...
It was.
I do like Shaft, though. No, I'll say Vertical Limit just to be different.
Perfect. There we go.
Yeah. I have a soft spot for Mission to Mars as well.
That's fair.
Just because I used to watch it a lot when I was a kid. But
it was a fun double feature month.
It was, those opportunities don't come up very often, so I was glad that we could do that. Yeah, next year's going to be fun. I've got some stuff already starting to percolate in my brain about what I want to do, so yeah.
I knew that you were going to use the word percolate.
Nice. And we'll talk the season finale of Mando next episode, I'm sure. Because we're not going to... I think that ends like right before Christmas, and we're not going to have a chance probably to podcast before Christmas again. So, yeah.
Probably.
We'll chat about that next time. And, yeah, anything you need to shout out or plug or anything you want to say, like a message you want to get across?
Oh, just peace and love.
Cool.
Be your best self.
Don't give up.
Hang in there.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yep.
Yeah.
And be cautiously pessimistic when people tell you that the next year will be better.
It won't. It won't be better. It'll be roughly the same. I don't know. I saw a Twitter post the other day. Someone's like, just a reminder for everyone saying like, oh, next year will be better. Mad Max was set in 2021, so take that with,
Oh man.
I don't know if we're quite there yet, but
oh boy,
maybe by 2023.
We'll see.
I was on an episode of a podcast. I forgot to plug this at the beginning of the show, but I'll do it now. I was on the Let's Watch That podcast with Bryce Logan talking about the movie Reign of Fire.
Right.
Which is an excellent movie about dragons and Christian Bale and Matthew McConaughey and the girl from GoldenEye and Vertical Limit, actually.
Oh.
They fight dragons. There's a dragon apocalypse. Dragons have taken over the world, and they gotta kill the big bull dragon in order to survive and save humanity. No one's ever done a dragon apocalypse movie before or since, but this one fucking rocks.
How have I not seen this?
I don't know, dude. Literally, like, no one I talked to has seen it, or if they have, they're like, oh, I think maybe I saw that movie once, like, in the theaters, or maybe I rented it once. Like, it came out in 2002, I think. So it was like, it was just kind of a blip on the radar. And, like, I'm honestly a little bit surprised. I don't think it did terribly well at the box office, but I'm a little bit surprised it never got, like, a direct-to-DVD sequel or spin-off. Because it seems like there's been far worse movies that have gotten those, but...
Well, sure.
I'm glad that it didn't, because it's kind of this, like, perfect movie that just exists in its own bubble.
Well, I'll have to check that out then.
Check it out. Highly recommended. Other than that, don't forget to check out the Film for Thought podcast.
Mm-hmm.
If you like the show, remember to give us a review on iTunes. Rate it 5 stars. Leave a comment. That really helps a lot. Tell a friend. That's a good way to get the show out there. If you want to find us on any of the socials, we are on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at RetroCrapPod, and we are retrocrappod@gmail.com. If you want to email in to the show, you can leave a comment, a question.
You're checking the email right now, aren't you?
Nope. I am checking the email right now. We have a Patreon where there's some bonus episodes. There's a couple commentary tracks. Floyd Roberts commented on the Incredible Hulk Returns episode on YouTube. It says, "WTF is this crap?" Thanks for listening, Robert. New comment on Vertical Limit. Someone says, "This is not a video."
Oh, accurate. It's a podcast.
And another person also commented on it. Multiple middle finger emojis, multiple horse emojis, a bunch of eggplant emojis, a bunch of knife emojis, vomiting emojis, and then more middle finger emojis.
Wow.
That's from Hirsch Fizroy. Thank you again.
Thanks, Hirsch.
Yeah, so I should comment back on some of these. It is a podcast, so it's not, but it is also technically a video.
Technically
it is a video.
It's a YouTube video.
Yeah, it is an MP4 encoded video. That is just a still image with audio under it, but you would still need a video player, say a QuickTime, a VLC, Windows Media Player, if you will, to play the video.
Yep.
Don't come at me with that. It's not a video shit. I'm a fucking video editor
No,
for a living.
All positive.
I know what a fucking video is. You son of a bitch.
All positive on YouTube. We always all positive on YouTube.
Thanks for listening. Appreciate the comment. You know what? Anytime someone comments, helps our algorithm. So,
perfect.
Means more people will see it, and then more people will be like, "Why the fuck am I seeing this? What is this crap?" I'm very curious about what all the eggplant knife vomiting emojis. Like, are they telling us like they ate some eggplant and a horse?
I'm personally just really trying not to dwell on it because I feel like I don't want to know.
They made some eggplant horse parm and they got real sick and just puked themselves to death.
I mean, I would.
Yeah. Their dying moment, they were just sending I need to tell someone.
Click on a random YouTube video and comment.
Yeah. I think that's all the things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for listening to the episode if you made it this far. I feel like somehow this is becoming the most entertaining part of the show in a way, isn't it?
I mean, for us.
Yeah.
Don't know what the viewer has to say about that.
Yeah, viewer. Nice, because it's a video. Nice use of the lingo.
Mm-hmm.
Or the listener. Dear listener, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for coming on this journey with us.
Indeed.
Through the year 2000. What a journey it has been.
Oh, for sure.
We'll be back in January with a new flick. Until then,
God bless us.
God bless us, everyone. Thank you, Tiny Matt, who did not die.
Yeah.
And have a happy new year. We will see you in the new year. Unless we all get the Rona.
Easy come, easy go, Space Cowboy.
Yep. Keep watching crap.
Should have watched Grinch.
Would it have been as entertaining an episode, though?
Yes, if we just talked about how amazing that movie actually is. It only gets better. Every time I watch that movie, I like it more.
The first time I saw that movie, the film print burned up.
Wow.
About 10 minutes in, 15 minutes in. It was the first time I'd ever had a film print burn up.
That is so special.
Yeah.
I mean, that sucks, but
It does
also
suck.
That really dates the movie.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, all I would probably talk about is how hot the chick that plays Cindy Lou Who is.
You mean like
now? Yeah.
Okay, good.
She's a babe.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Has she like been in anything else?
Not really. She's in a band. Like they're.
Okay. Well, I hope she sings better now than she did as Cindy Lou.
Where are you, Christmas?
Like, it's adorable.
Why can't I find you?
And I do love it, but it's still cringeworthy.
Run away. My world is changing.